Alright, here's the KDK industrial ceiling fan model B56YK in my grandparents' dining room here in the Dominican Republic. I figured I'd show off the globe on it, just for those who like ceiling fans without globes on them, I don't know. Figured might as well. I don't really take the globes off them. I usually only do it once just to clean them and then I put them back on, but since this globe is definitely quite dusty and the inside's pretty dusty as well, might as well do it. I might put another globe on here just to try it out as well, just for video purposes, but I figured meantime I would just show it like this. Yeah, and plus I know people really like seeing these KDK fans in my grandparents' house, so I figured might as well show them different combinations as well. Yep, here it is, the white on. And this one we installed back in December of 2008. This one took the place of the white one that's in my grandmother's bedroom now, that used to be over here. Because that one was getting a lot of grease since this is right next to the kitchen. So it was pretty hard to clean. So yeah, let me go ahead and start this one off on speed 1. We figured also it would match better having a brown and brass one over here, since there's a lot more brown furniture over here instead of white. The only thing that's really white is the floor and the rocking chair in the corner, and that's about it. Oh, and the ceiling. Out of all the fans here, this one I'd have to say is possibly the noisiest. It makes like a tiny bit of a humish, or like a... I'll bring it up so you can hear it. Some sort of hum. I noticed that's something that KDKs will start to do if they get used up a lot. And this one I know for a fact this one gets used quite a bit, since this is where my grandparents usually spend most of the time throughout the day. And this is where people usually spend the time when they come over to visit. For some reason they don't really spend that much. They don't really sit in the living room that much. I don't know why. Oh, they like to come here to eat, so I mean that kind of makes sense. Yeah, let me go ahead and show up the light while it's on speed 1. Plus, I've seen a lot of fans from my childhood, KDK fans especially, without globes, so to see these ones without it kind of brings back some childhood memories. No, they didn't have an LED though. They had either just a regular some CFL or a incandescent. But I'm not putting an incandescent on this or any of them here, because whenever the power goes out here, then you have to rely on the power generator, and using incandescent will blow out the power on it completely. So yeah, let's go ahead and move it up to speed 2. I know there's some people who prefer incandescents, but we literally can't use them down here. I'm not gonna have my grandparents go who knows how long without power just because we want to use incandescents. So that kind of proves the point. I mean, it does kind of prove also that for those who say, oh no, they use the same amount of energy, they definitely don't, because a light bulb that doesn't use up that much energy would not use up all the energy in the power generator. Honestly, I'm going to put the globe back on it because my mom definitely would not like me to keep it like this. I might do it just to get her mad, but who knows. I remember the white one that used to be over here, we had to keep it for a bit without a globe, because the white kit that was on it originally, one of the screw holes was bent sideways, so anytime you'd put a globe on it, it would fall and break. So we had to leave it without a globe for quite a bit. And then when we put it in my grandmother's bedroom, we put a different white kit on it. And that white kit that's on it now is actually from my aunt's KDK, the one that has the cable hanging to hold the light on it. Show off the light. Yeah, originally I had when we first put this one up, it was like a warm white, soft white CFL. But then when we, and on and off it would be either a day white one or a soft white. You know, in the end we ended up just putting everything day white in here. That's because my grandmother only has one eye and her other one's not in the best shape. So just for visual reasons, we figured that day white would be the best one for her to use. Right now, speed 3. This fan's usually used on this speed right here the most, on speed 3. Never is there a day that I'm down here that I see this fan off. Every day I see this one on. I might end up putting new blades on it because these ones are starting to get rusted up a bit, but it's really not that noticeable, so I might just leave it the way it is. It's just a lot of rust bubbles that are forming on it for the most part. But also the newer blades, I know for a fact if I put newer blades, they'll probably rust up even quicker. So what I might do is have them get some spray paint to make the same exact color as the blades, and just repaint these with like that, or get some spray blades and repaint those like that. Because down here they actually have paint shops that will actually create the exact color that you're looking for. So it's not like you have to cut it like match colors and such. I know a lot of people, collectors, when I found like the brown that they'd use like for like this type of brown, or like the ones that you'd use like on a Newtone Pro line or such. But up there they don't really do that. But down here, they'll literally create any color that you ask them to make. So it's a nice thing about here. That's a nice thing about the paint shops here. Show up the white. There's a lot of people down here though that actually have KDKs with the globes on purpose because it gives off more light, which I mean that is kind of purpose of the globes is to kind of reduce the lighting, just to like make it a little bit, just give a little bit of a shade so it's not right in your face. So I can understand that, but some people want the full out lighting just so it's a little bit brighter. So that's why in many situations in the videos I've done of KDK fans here, you see them without globes, not because they're too lazy to replace them, it's just because they prefer to have it without the globe. So that way it gives off a little bit more lighting. Sometimes we'll use this fan on speed 4, not that much though, compared to speed 3. Right. I mean, I remember originally I was actually opposed to putting a brown KDK in here because I really wanted to keep the white KDK here and just put something else in my grandmother's bedroom. Like a full-bladed generic color I wanted to put there, but in the end, the place I had it, they stopped carrying it, so that's when I decided to put. I was okay with my mom putting this here. Plus, I also figured this would be an opportunity to get a brown KDK instead of having to try to convince my mom to get a new brown KDK to use here. So, yeah, I'm now at speed 5. It is making some bearing noise, and I did oil it like a day or two ago. Or actually, no, literally last night. But by the time you see it, it'll be like a few days. But for some reason, it's still making that weird bearing sound, like the squeaking sound. So I don't know if I need to put more oil in it or something. I might use some 3-in-1 oil on this one and the one in my grandmother's bedroom, since those two get used the most. So I figured maybe oil them, since I know for a fact they're not oiling them when I'm not here. And I usually keep grease rubbers just after a certain amount of time being used, 10 years or so, the grease definitely might be drying up. And with the heat, and with the climate down here, they definitely probably need some oil after like every 10 years or so. Or maybe even before. I probably should have oiled them a little before, just before they got noisy, but he was still working fine, so I never really worried about it. You can kind of see while it's running the markings on the blades with the white reflecting off of that. Those are the marks from the rust forming on it. But again, it's a brown one, and you have to look at it closely to even notice it. If it was a white one, I would have painted them without a question. Spin down. I'm just gonna take a rocking chair just so I'm more comfortable. Yeah, I definitely want to find another one like this, just so I can have for the collection. One that still has the switch cap on it. That way I don't have to like remove it, the switch cap, and like fuss around with putting a light on it. I would definitely be able to find one. The thrift stores or the pawn shops, but it's pawn shops down here when it comes to finding used fans. None of the pawn shops down here, I never find a brown and brass one. I did find one, but this is like many years, even before I started YouTube. Maybe like a year or two before I started YouTube, but since then I haven't really seen any at a pawn shop. But I know they show up, but I haven't seen any of the ones around here. More likely to find one if I check other ones, but it's not really worth it since I know they'll still show up. Another reason why I also, just for those wondering why I swapped out the CFLs with LEDs is because my grandparents are not really they are somewhat clumsy, I guess. Well, and when it comes to glass stuff, they're breaking a lot of glass stuff, a lot of plates or cups they've been breaking. So we've been replacing a lot of that plastic stuff. So if they drop an LED and it happens to break, at least it won't shatter all over the place, and they don't risk them getting cut. And that's another reason why I put the LEDs in as well. Plus, if it does save a little bit more than these CFLs, might as well put those in. Because when it comes down here, sometimes if you use the power, you don't know how long it's going to be gone for, so you want to try to save as much power possible. Yeah, I remember at first we put this up. It was, for those who have watched the channel before, it was with a longer down run. Then we cut it because it hung way too low, and I kept my hand was literally like half my arm was above it almost. Well, a quarter of my arm was able to go above it, and I actually hit it once by mistake. It was on speed 2, thankfully, not on speed 5 or speed 4. I mean, luckily didn't damage the blades or injure myself, but yeah, we raced it. But originally we put it up. It didn't have the white kit on it. And then we put the white kit on it, but my mom bought one with a chain on it, which is what you'll see still on it. I could cut it, but I figured maybe just leave it in case they need to. Just in case something happens, if the wall switch burns out, at least you can operate it from there. I figured I'd just leave it for that reason. But yeah, back then it was kind of hard to find a brass ones like these without the pull chain, so that's all my mom could find. But I kind of preferred we never put it with a chain, since it would have been easier and I had to hook it up the way it was for so many years. Same time the guy that put it up wasn't really the best at putting it up. He didn't even know how to hook up the light to the switch, and he actually disconnected it. So yeah. Alright, and it's come to a complete stop, and that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.